Welcome to Meet the Kreeps. There Goes the Neighborhood by Kiki Thorpe. Chapter 3. Meet the Kreeps. The next day after school, Polly and Mike stood at the Winklers' front porch. Molly was wearing binoculars around her neck. A notebook was tucked into her back pocket. "Now tell me what we're doing again," Mike asked. "We're launching Mission Mom," Polly said. "Mission Mom?" Mike asked, scratching his head. Polly nodded. "My family needs a mom, and we're going to find one starting today." "How are we going to do that?" Mike wondered. "Don't worry, I've got it all figured out." Polly whipped her notebook out of her back pocket and read, "Step 1, we find a good mom. Step 2, she meets my dad. Step 3, they fall in love and get married." She looked at Mike and grinned. "Easy." "You really think that'll work?" Mike asked. "It has to work," Polly said. "My dad burns dinner almost every night. My brother eats like a pig, and my sister's too busy cheerleading to do anything else. We really need a mom." "Sounds like you need a maid," said Mike. Polly put her hands on her hips. "Are you going to help me or what?" she asked. Mike shrugged. "Sure. How do we start?" "Well," Polly said, looking around, "do you see any good moms?" Mike pointed down the street. "What about her?" Polly lifted her binoculars. At the end of the block, an old woman was walking her little dog. They were inching along at a snail's pace. "That's Mrs. Crumper. She's too old to be our mom." "Okay, then how about her?" Mike suggested. He pointed to a young woman who was riding past on her bike, her ponytail whipping in the wind. No. Polly said, "That's Jennifer Armstrong. She just graduated from high school last year. Way too young to be our mom." "Geez, you're picky," Mike said. "This could take all day." He sat down on Polly's front steps. Polly sat down next to him. Just then a flash of pink across the street caught her eye. It was Miss Tulip. She lived in the house next to the old mansion. She was out working in her front garden. Polly watched her kneel down and carefully pull out the weeds around the rose bush. Polly thought. She took a closer look at Miss Tulip's house. The yard was neatly trimmed, and pretty pink curtains hung in the windows. "Miss Tulip could be our mom," she said. Mike followed her gaze. "Her? She's awfully pink." Polly nodded. "I've never seen her wear anything but pink. Pink jeans, pink t-shirts, pink coats. She even has pink sneakers. Pink is a good color for a mom, don't you think?" "My mom hates pink," Mike said. Polly shrugged. She took her notebook out of her pocket and wrote, "Miss Tulip?" Polly tapped her pencil on her lips. "I wonder if she can cook," she said. "What if her whole kitchen is pink?" Molly said. Polly laughed. She imagined Miss Tulip cooking on a pink stove next to a pink refrigerator. "And all the food is pink too," she said, "like pink ham." "Pink cupcakes," Mike added. "Pink smoothies, pink ice cream, pink strawberry angel food cake." Just the thought made Polly's mouth water. Miss Tulip was starting to seem like the perfect mom. Creak! A sound like a coffin opening made Polly and Mike jump. The front door of the old mansion slowly opened. Out stepped Polly's new neighbor. She was still wearing her long black dress, but today she'd added elbow-length gloves and a big floppy black hat. "She looks like a witch," Polly whispered to Mike. "What's that she's carrying?" Mike wondered. "Looks like some kind of flower." Polly raised her binoculars. "A flower crossed with a lizard is more like it. I'm pretty sure that thing has teeth." They watched as the woman went over to the empty flower bed and began to dig. As if she felt their eyes on her, the woman suddenly turned. She fixed them with a green-eyed stare. Polly and Mike both gasped. And then the woman smiled. It was a perfectly ordinary, friendly smile. "Hello there," she called. Hi," Polly called back. "Lovely day, isn't it?" the woman said. Polly blinked and looked up at the sky. It was full of dark clouds. "Is she joking?" she whispered to Mike. He shrugged. The woman continued to smile pleasantly, as if she were waiting for them to agree. Sure," Polly said. She stood up and brushed off the seat of her pants. She had more important things to do than talk to the nutty new neighbor. But as she was about to leave, Mike suddenly called to the woman. "What are you planting?" "Oh, Venus flytraps," the woman said. "Come take a look if you like." "Cool," Mike hopped to his feet. "What are you doing? You can't go over there." "Why not?" Mike asked. "Because she's weird," Polly said. "She seems nice," Mike said. "Besides, I want to see a Venus flytrap." As Mike crossed the street, Polly frowned and folded her arms. Mike was supposed to be helping her, not talking to the weirdo neighbors, but her curiosity got the better of her. A moment later, she followed him. I didn't know Venus flytraps got this big, Mike said as he examined the plants. So they mostly eat flies, right? Polly asked nervously. Was it her imagination, or was the plant looking at her in a hungry sort of way? That's right, said the woman, but they won't say no to a good steak. I'm Veronica Kreep, by the way, but you can just call me Veronica. I'm Mike, said Mike, and this is Polly. She lives across the street. Polly scowled at him. But Veronica was delighted. My children will be so excited to meet you. They don't know anyone in the neighborhood yet. Just then the door to the house opened again. The teenage boy Polly had seen the day before flew down the front steps on his skateboard. He whipped past Polly and Mike without a second glance. Stop right there, Veronica commanded. The boy kicked his skateboard to a stop. With a sigh, he skulked back to his mother. He wore a black sweatshirt with the hood pulled over his head. Polly noticed his face was as pale as a vampire's. Vincent, meet Polly and Mike. Vincent is my oldest son, Veronica told them. Hello, Vincent mumbled beneath his hood. He doesn't seem excited to meet us, Polly whispered to Mike. Did you feed the snakes? Veronica asked Vincent. Yes, he said. Did you put in enough sunscreen? Veronica asked. Vincent rolled his eyes. Yes, Mother. All right, you can go. Before the words were even out of Veronica's mouth, Vincent was speeding away. Don't mind him, Veronica said to Polly and Mike. He's just getting used to being here. Edenville is so different from the last town we lived in. She turned to holler after Vincent. Be back before dawn and stay out of the cemetery this time. Dawn? Cemetery? Polly thought. Who are these people? Veronica smiled. We must seem pretty different to you. We're probably the only witch. Polly's eyes widened. Wichitans you've met. Wichitans? Asked Polly and Mike in unison. From Wichita, Kansas, Veronica explained, though we have family all over the world. Everything about the Kreeps is as weird as their last name, Polly thought, and she'd had enough weirdness for now. It was nice to meet you, she told Veronica, but we have to go. We have a bunch of homework to do. Mike looked at her. No, Before he could finish, Polly grabbed his arm and dragged him away. Be sure to come back, Veronica called after them. I know Damon and Esmeralda will be dying to meet you. Not if I can help it, thought Polly. And we'll be on to chapter 4 next time. If you enjoyed There Goes the Neighborhood in Meet the Kreeps series by Kiki Thorpe, you might want to try the next few. Kiki Thorpe, the author who wrote Meet the Kreeps, is also the author of these 3 series of chapter books. You may want to try these.